Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Coming to you live from John Stella Field at Brown Park, we bring you the third and fourth games of this four-game set between the home team, the Bellevue University Bruins, and the visiting Dickinson State Blue Hawks out of Dickinson, North Dakota. Welcome back, everyone. Mick Krupski back behind the microphone. Bill Mullins, sports information guy from Bellevue, sitting beside me as we get ready to bring you another doubleheader action, a 9-inning game number one, a 7-inning game number two between these two squads. This was the only action in NSAA play yesterday. The other games, because of weather, were pushed back. And so the Bruins on top of the North Star Athletic Association with a perfect 10-0 record. Dakota State in second place at 8-0. Mayville State and Waldorf tied for third with 4-4 records. Then comes Dickinson State at 4-6, Viterbo at 3-5, Valley City at 1-7, and Presentation at 0-8. So there will be conference action in other locations today and on Monday, as we are now in the third week of conference play in the 2023 regular season. The two head coaches meeting with the two-man umpiring crew, Bellevue head coach Dwayne Monlix and Dickinson State head coach Michael Dow meeting there. Coach Monlix has had the distinction of being the head coach both of these schools. Back in the day, he was the head coach at Dickinson State after playing 3 sports as a student there in Dickinson, North Dakota. As they discuss the ground rules, let's go through the starting lineups for the first game of today's doubleheader. Dickinson State comes in 12-17 overall, 4-6 in the North Star Athletic Association. This is the starting lineup for head coach Michael Dow. Leading off and playing second base, Keanu Kalamayan. Batting second, the left fielder, Cade Ostenson. Batting third, the shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster. The cleanup hitter for the Blue Hawks is the third baseman, Dawson Cortese. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Wyatt Wilharm. Batting sixth, behind the plate, Derek Calvillo. Batting seventh and playing right field, Matthias Duffner. Batting eighth and playing first base is Richie Cortese. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Alberto Nieto. On the mound this afternoon for game number one for the Blue Hawks will be Brannon Hogan. Again, the batting order for the Blue Hawks, Kalamayan, Ostenson, Buckmaster, Dawson Cortese, Wilharm, Calvillo, Duffner, Richie Cortese, and Alberto Nieto. The Bellevue Bruins come into this first game after the doubleheader sweep yesterday by scores of 7-2 and 6-3. The Bruins have now won 16 of their last 17 games. This is the starting lineup for head coach Dwayne Monlix. Pretty much what we saw yesterday in the doubleheader action. Leading off for the Bruins and playing center field will be Kanta Kobayashi. Batting second, the designated hitter, Connor Barnett. Batting third, the left fielder, Jake Lacey. The cleanup hitter for Bellevue is the catcher, Logan Grant. Batting fifth and playing right field is Anthony Lind. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Nick Grade. Hitting seventh, the first baseman, Trad Richardson. Drew Staley, the second baseman, hitting eighth. And shortstop, C.J. Townsend, batting ninth. On the mound this afternoon for the Bruins will be Easton Brinton. All right. Ground rules have been discussed. PA announcer Simon Falcon today. You'll be hearing his voice in the background as we get ready for today's action. The visiting Blue Hawks will be in the white uniforms with navy blue trim today. The Bruins will be in purple jerseys with gray pants as they get ready to take the field here momentarily.
4-6 in NSAA play.
The Bruins averaging 9 runs per game, about 7.5 off the bats of the Blue Hawks.
Leading off for the Blue Hawks, number 3, the second.
Bellevue 14-1 on the season here at John Stella Field at Brown Park. Bellevue on the year hitting .332. Dickinson State hitting .309.
Batting third, the shortstop, number 4, Ballas Buckmaster.
When it comes to pitching, let's compare the two stabs in that category again. For the earned run average for the Bellevue Bruins, 4.42 on the season. For Dickinson State, 5.47. And lastly, fielding percentage. The Bruins, one of the top fielding teams in the country. .971 fielding percentage for the Bruins, .952 for the Blue Hawks. As they are being introduced, we'll once again go through some of the Characteristics of John Stella Field at Brown Park. A field turf field completely. About 325 down each foul line. About 380 to straightaway center field. Expect the temperatures today in the Omaha Bellevue area to get up into the 70s. So a beautiful day for baseball. Right now it's 61 degrees. Beautiful clear skies overhead, so a great day for baseball. Average temperature in the Omaha area this time of year is right around 60 degrees, so we'll be about 10 degrees above the average when it comes to that. And again, if we would like to invite you to be part of our broadcast, you can send along a text message to me at any point during the game. That number is 402-515-7654. I'll give that out a couple of times during the game. We had a nice conversation with a lot of people yesterday from all across the country as the purple-clad Bellevue Bruins take the field. We're just moments away from the national anthem and from the starting lineups. Hey, our first text message already in the queue. Hubba Hubba. Sunday Hubba Hubbas from the Sakamotis in the dugout and in the stands today. Cade's in the dugout, his family here watching in person. Go Bruins. And a big shout out for the awesome, much appreciated play-by-play coverage. Well, thank you very much. Nice compliment. We always enjoy hearing from you guys and your Hubba Hubbas each and every Bellevue game that we broadcast. So we're glad you're getting to see them here in person on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. A little cool yesterday with temperatures in the low 50s. We'll be about 20 degrees warmer today, so great baseball weather.
The Bruins are coached by Dwayne Mollocks in his 13th season, assisted by Mitch Schmidt, Sean Malley, Richie Moore, and Austin Alexander.
Right-hander Easton Britton will draw the starting assignment for the Bruins today, but time now to stand and get ready for our national anthem. All right, the national anthem has concluded, and we are ready for baseball action today. For the Bellevue Bruins, Easton Britton draws the start. This is his 9th appearance on the season, all but one of them as a starting pitcher. On the year, Easton has a 3-win, 1-loss record. In 34 to third innings, Easton has allowed 32 hits, 17 runs, 14 of them earned. He's walked 16 and struck out 36, a 3.67 earned run average for Easton Britton. He gets his warm-up tosses, working with Bellevue catcher Logan Grant. Let's set the lineup defensively for the Bruins. Across the infield, it'll be Trad Richardson at first base, Drew Staley at second, C.J. Townsend the shortstop, and the third baseman is Nick Grade. Across the outfield, Jake Lacey in left, Kanta Kobayashi in center, and Anthony Lind, the right fielder. That sets the Bruins on defense. The Bruins with the doubleheader sweep yesterday, hoping to remain perfect in the North Star Athletic Association. Currently 10-0 on top of the conference. The Bruins the number 1 pick in the coaches' preseason poll for conference play. Two-man umpiring crew getting ready to call this one. Brutus the Bruin on hand this afternoon once again, enjoying the bright sunshine and greeting the fans on hand here today at John Stella Field at Brown Park. All right, we're ready to go. Leading things off for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks out of Dickinson, North Dakota. Second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan. Kalamayan, a .360 hitter on the season, amongst the top for the Blue Hawks. Ballas Buckmaster, the team leader, at .441. 307, the team batting. 309, the team batting average as the first pitch from Easton Britton. Fastball comes upstairs, ball one. Again, a great day for baseball. Just a light breeze right now blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. The wind will be out of the southwest, a little gustier later on. There's a nicely located fastball. Outer half evens the count at 1-1. Most of the Bruin pitchers can get the ball on the fastball in the zone at about mid to upper 80s. There's another nicely located fastball, this time on the inner half. Kalamayan down 1-2 in the count. Leadoff batter for Dickinson State today, as he was yesterday as well. Here's the 1-2. Chopped on the ground to third. Nick Grade on the two-hopper sets his feet. And a nice fluid throw across the diamond, 5-3 on the putout. There's one up and one down to the top of the first. Next up for the Blue Hawks, left fielder Cade Austinson. Austinson with a solo home run yesterday. Got his team into an early lead in game number one. Back in the two-hole spot again today where he was in game number one. Foul back to the net, 0-1 the count. Austinson had a run batted in both of the games yesterday. That solo home run in the first game and then a sacrifice fly in the second contest. Left-handed batter awaits the next pitch from Easton Britton. On the outside black for the called strike two. Easton, a junior, a native of Murray, Utah. Pushes the batter off the plate a little bit with that one. 1-2 again, the count. Same count that Kalamayan faced before grounding out. Hit in the air left side, Jake Lacey runs over toward the line. He'll camp underneath it, and he'll catch it for the second out of the inning. Again, left field will be the Sun Field as the doubleheader begins, and as we progress through the 16 innings of these two contests, it'll move around from left to right. So right now, Jake Lacey with those sunglasses planted firmly on his face. Next up for the Blue Hawks, the shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster. First pitch swinging, that's driven to the gap in left center field. Lacey and Kobayashi, neither one will get there. One hop off the fence, the relay in, but Ballas Buckmaster with the first hit of this afternoon. A double off the left center field fence. We had fun yesterday discussing the name Ballas, an old French word, derivative of bailiff.
In the cleanup spot, the third baseman, Dawson Cortesi.
1 on, 2 out, the next batter, the cleanup hitter, third baseman, Dawson Cortesi. Cortesi over the 400 mark on the season at .412. He's the team leader in runs batted in. He'll have an opportunity here with the runner in scoring position, but comes up empty on that swing on the breaking ball from Easton Britton. Britton, one of those pitchers who'll work exclusively from the stretch, even with nobody on, working from the first base side of the pitcher's rubber. Comes set at the belt. Another breaking ball on the knees. 0-2 the count on the Blue Hawks cleanup hitter. Dawson Cortesi and Richie Cortesi are brothers. Dawson the senior, Richie the sophomore. Grant sets up on the outer half. Here's the pitch from Britton. Chase pitch. Cortese lays off. Again, a 1-2 count. Dickinson State comes into today's action on a 4-game losing streak. Bellevue on a 2-game winning streak, winning 16 of their last 17. Again, a tempting pitch, but again, good plate discipline by Cortese, laying off. The count goes to 2-2. Let's see if Britton goes back in the zone here, or still trying to hit a spot off the dish. Grant awaits. Tries to hit the outside corner, but a little bit too wide, so the count goes full. Grant trying to frame that one for the home plate umpire. Dallas Buckmaster, the runner at second. He gets a lead. C.J. Townsend trying to hold him a little bit closer. Now he goes back to his position. Payoff pitch is bounced and blocked. It'll be ball 4. So after getting ahead 0-2, Britton working Cortese very carefully, and he'll earn the walk. Next up, designated hitter Wyatt Wilharm. Wilharm had a good day yesterday with 3 hits, 1 in the first, 2 in the second. First pitch, a called strike 1. Looked like a slider breaking away from the right-handed batter. Wilharm, a freshman, hitting .353. He's played in a little bit more than half of the games for the Blue Hawks this season. Big, slow breaking curveball, swung on and missed. You see the difference in the speed and movement of those last 2 pitches. The sharp braiding slider on the first one, the slow, more bending down and across on the curve. Let's see where Britton goes on the 0-2. Goes right at him. He'll get the strikeout to retire the side. For Dickinson State in the top of the first inning, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base after a half. The Blue Hawks nothing, and the Bellevue Bruins coming to bat. Let's set the defense for you for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. Across the infield, it'll be Richie Cortese at first base. The second baseman is Keanu Kalamayan. The shortstop, Dallas Buckmaster, and the third baseman is Dawson Cortese. Across the outfield, it's Cade Ostenson in left, Alberto Nieto in center, and Matthias Duffner in right. The battery for the Blue Hawks behind the plate, Derek Calvillo, and on the mound is right-hander Brannon Hogan. Hogan, a senior right-hander. This is his 7th appearance on the season, 6 of them as a starting pitcher. Has a 1-3 record with 1 save in 19 2/3 innings of work. He's allowed 22 hits, 17 runs, 16 of them earned. Has walked 9 and struck out 17, a 7.32 earned run average. As the Bellevue Bruins will get their first cracks against Hogan. I'm going to be thinking all game long of Hogan's heroes. Hogan! All right, we'll get that out of the way, and then we won't let it affect the broadcast from here on. This Bellevue squad averaging 9 runs per game. They didn't get to that mark yesterday, but they did pick up the 2 wins by scores of 7-2 and 6-3. Dickinson State out-hit the Bruins in the doubleheader yesterday, but the Bruins coming away with the opportune times, taking advantage of some walks and hit by pitches and a couple of timely hits. Leading it off for the Bruins, center fielder Kanta Kobayashi, .347 hitter on the season. The first pitch from Brandon Hogan is in the zone, strike 1. Hogan, the windup and the delivery. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Expect the wind to pick up a little bit more as the day goes on, moving more out of the west and Southwest. Tries to come in tight. 1-2 on the Bruins leadoff hitter. Conta with 35 hits on the season. That ties him for second place on the squad. Backdoor breaking ball stays wide. Kobayashi tied with Brendan Luther. Team leader is Jake Lacey with 40. Luther not in action this weekend. 2-2 pitch is driven up the middle and into center field. Conta Kobayashi with a good job of hitting it right back where it came from. Never end a sentence in a preposition, but you know what I mean there. So 1 up, 1 on for the Bruins. As next up, designated hitter Connor Barnett.
Batting second, the designated hitter, Connor Barnett.
Barnett recovering from a shoulder injury, also a hamstring injury a couple of games ago. So he won't be the fastest guy on the bases, but he had a couple of hits in yesterday's contest as well.
McGrain did some stuff last year.
Hogan sets at the letters. Popped up on the infield. Calvillo, the catcher, couldn't find it at first, but then he does find it, and he'll make the catch in foul territory. That went straight up the chute. The catch was made only about 5 or 6 feet away from home plate. Good job by the catcher, Calvillo, to stay with it to retire Connor Barnett. Next up for the Bruins, left fielder Jake Lacey. Just said that Jake's the team leader in hits. Also a .388 batting average. That's tops amongst the Bruins starters. First pitch from Hogan, low and away. Brendan Luther won't be playing this weekend. He injured his finger in the game against Morningside in the midweek contest. Not a broken bone, but an injury that'll require him to rest it for a little while. Throw to first base. Kobayashi back in plenty of time. Conta with 9 stolen bases on the year has only been thrown out twice. On the outside black, 1-1 to count on Lacey. Bellevue is 14-1 this year at John Stella Field at Brown Park. Enjoying the friendly confines here. Second day of April. Hopefully the whole month of April has nice weather like this. Another throw to first, and again, Kobayashi back easily. Again, that text message number, if you want to join us, 402-515-7654. Way wide on that delivery from Brandon Hogan. 2-1 the count. Expect Hogan to try to be around the dish here. A good count for a hit and run as Lacey awaits in the right-handed batter's box. Throw over once again. Kobayashi on the run, on the hit and run. The throw to second base is not in. Oh, it's mishandled, dropped there at second base. A bang-bang play. Calamayan couldn't control the throw, so a stolen base for Conta Kobayashi, his 10th of the season. Conta, that spark plug at the top of the lineup. Just off. Full count on Lacey, trying to get the Bruins on the board first in this one.
It's tough when you're only playing 3-game series and you got 4 starters, because you want to try to get them all work.
Lacey with a solo home run in yesterday's second contest. Little chopper to second base. Calamayan gloves it and throws it to first base. Second out of the inning as Kobayashi advances to third on the play. Catcher Logan Grant next up for the purple-clad Bruins.
The cleanest spot for the Bruins, the catcher, Logan Grant.
Grant, a .340 hitter on the season. 27 runs batted in. First pitch on the outside corner, called strike one. The Bellevue Bruins, the number 9 rated team in the NAIA coaches top 25 poll in their most recent poll. Slap foul, opposite field, off the net. Now 0-2 the count on the Bruins catcher. Having to protect the plate here. Lays off the high fastball, 1-2.
Has Wayne put anything about the midweek report yet? Okay.
Why we cancel Bateman?
Lined hard up the first base side, but foul. Logan had an RBI in each of the 2 games yesterday against the Blue Hawks. Awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Hogan. That one's upstairs, 2-2. Kobayashi dancing down the third base line, getting his lead off that bag.
I think they play on grass, so it's dicey.
The pitch. Foul out of play, opposite way. Count remains at 2-2. Now 3-2 as Brandon Hogan's pitches that have missed have all been high. So payoff pitch upcoming. Logan Grant awaits in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch. Again, popped out of play opposite way. Once again, on 3-2, fouled up the first base side this time. Assistant coach Richie Moore gets out of the way of that one. Let's give you the coach's salute here real quickly. Dwayne Monlex, the Bellevue head coach. Associate head coach Mitch Schmidt. Pitching coach Sean Malley. Assistant coach Richie Moore. And volunteer assistant is Austin Alexander. That breaking ball misses away. And Grant will draw the 2-out walk to put Bruin runners at the corners. Logan, the Bruin catcher, as courtesy runner Takumi Maeno steps in.
Batting in the 5th spot, the right fielder, Anthony Lind.
So it'll be up to Anthony Lind, the Bellevue right fielder, to try to drive the first run of the game home. Home plate umpire signals courtesy runner. We got it. And we're back to the action. Dickinson State predicted to be the number 3 team. According to the preseason NSAA coaches poll, Bellevue on top, Dakota State second, Dickinson State number 3 in the 8-team conference. Chopped hard to short, goes the easy route to second base, and on the fielder's choice, the side is retired. The Bruins threaten, but nothing across. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. So both teams with identical results in the top and bottom of the first inning as the shortstop Ballas Buckmaster makes the play to retire the side. After 1, still scoreless, Bellevue Bruins and Dickinson State Blue Hawks. All right, I heard my phone jingle a couple of times here. Our next text message comes from Teron Williams' family, just getting out of church. Time to watch some baseball. Go Bruins. Good priorities there by the Williams family. Happy Palm Sunday, everybody listening in. For members of the Christian faith, Easter next weekend. Getting my workout this week. I had doubleheaders yesterday, doubleheader today, and then I had lectured at church today as well, reading the Passion and all that fun stuff. So another text from the Sakamotos. Jenny is not impressed with Kanta's base stealing skills. Jenny is the family cat, I'm assuming, from this text message. She's watching at home back in Bakersfield, California. That's a well-trained cat. All right, let's go to the top of the second inning. Leading it off will be the catcher, Derek Calvillo.
Leading off the Blue Hawks, the catcher.
Calvillo, 307 hitter on the year for the Blue Hawks. Plays catcher, also plays some first base. Here's the first pitch. A breaking ball from Easton Britton comes into the top of the zone for the called strike one. Britton comes set and delivers. Bounced. Blocked nicely by Grant the catcher. A flinch by the home plate umpire. Got to trust the catcher in front of you to make sure that he blocks it. The 1-2 pitch from Britton on the way. Just off the outside edge, 2-1. Slight advantage to the hitter here. Calvillo took a offer in yesterday's doubleheader. Wants to try to get into the hitting party if he can today. A little chopper to short. C.J. Townsend gets a nice long hop on the money to Trad Richardson at first base. 6-3 on that inning opening out. Only one error in the doubleheader yesterday, so a smartly played defensive game. Right fielder Matthias Duffner next up for the Blue Hawks. After today's game, they'll get back on the bus and that nice 12 to 14 hour bus ride back to the western part of the state of North Dakota. Ball one on the first offering.
So we were given box to box.
Back up the middle and through. Matthias Duffner directs that one back through the box. That's the second hit of the game for the Blue Hawks. He'll be the one-out base runner as first baseman Richie Cortese steps to the plate. Richie Cortese hitting .306. Older brother Dawson about 100 points higher than him. I'm sure they have a friendly rivalry going. First pitch fastball from Easton Britton on a called strike one. Dickinson State, about 7.5 runs per game. Season average, swing and a miss. 0-2. They were held in check yesterday. Only 2 runs in game 1, 3 in game number 2. Chopper. And that one's going to be gloved deep at second base by Drew Staley, and in time with Easton Britton covering. So a nice job by both Bruin defenders there. Drew Staley getting deep to make the play after it got by first baseman Trad Richardson. And then alertness by the pitcher Easton Britton to get over and cover the bag. So 4-1 on that putout as Duffner advancing to second base. Next up, center fielder Alberto Nieto. Alberto or simply Berto, if you want to chop off the lead syllable. Breaking ball from Britton, low and away. Nieto, .323 is his average. So just about every guy on the field today at that 300 clip or better for both squads. Working inside, stays in tight, 2-0. Nieto made some nice defensive plays in yesterday's doubleheader out in center field. The double look on the outside corner, a called strike. Still kind of a small crowd on hand. They expect more and more people to come as the day goes on, get a chance to get out, get some sun, some nice weather, and some good baseball as well. A little flare to the right side. Drew Staley, a couple steps back into the outfield grass, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one man left on base after an inning and a half. We're still scoreless, the Bellevue Bruins and the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. This is the third weekend of conference play as part of this 2002 baseball campaign. The home team Bruins defeated Viterbo in week number 1, all 4 games. Then Valley City State in the second series. And the Bruins off to a 2-0 start with the doubleheader sweep yesterday. Looking down the road a little bit after this series with Dickinson State, the Bruins on Tuesday will head to York College in York, Nebraska to play a midweek game against York from the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference, or are they independent? KCAC. Former members of the Midland Collegiate Athletic Conference with the Bruins for many years. And then next weekend, the Bruins will be back here Friday, Saturday doubleheader against Waldorf. Still a lot of baseball to be played. Hopefully we'll get this continued good weather in the month of April. For Dickinson State, their opening series was against Valley City down in Tucson, Arizona. The Blue Hawks went 1-3 in that series. 3-1 in their series against Viterbo. They currently sit 4-6 after their doubleheader loss yesterday. For the Bruins, in the bottom of the second inning, third baseman Nick Grade will start it off. Grade hitting .364. Right back through the box. A nice two-hopper through the middle. First pitch swinging. Nick Grade turns it right back around. For Grade, that's now his 25th hit of the season. Next up for the Bruins, first baseman Trad Richardson. Richardson at .328. Breaking ball, chop foul up the third base side. And again, I don't know what it is about the heel of Trad's shoes, but every time he steps to bat, and it's not a cloudy day, they just shine right in my eyeballs. So, does that affect you too, or is that just me?
I just notice it.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Before that, though, the throw to first. Diving back is Nick Grade. Way wide, 1-1 to count. Richardson had an RBI double in yesterday's first game of the doubleheader. Lined hard and through the left side of the infield. Diving attempt by the third baseman Dawson Cortese, but he comes up just a little bit short. So back-to-back singles for the Bruins to open this bottom of the second inning. Nick Grade advancing to second, and the batter will be the second baseman for the Bruins, Drew Staley. Drew Staley with a home run yesterday over the left field fence.
Second baseman Drew Staley.
Was up 3 times and on 3 times in game number 2. First pitch fastball in the zone from Brannon Hogan. Brannon's first name, B-R-A-N-N-A-N, Brannon Hogan. Nice play by Hogan as he knocks it down, falling off the mound. Recovers in time to get Drew Staley at first base. A little awkward, but a little athletic at the same time as Brannon Hogan makes the play. Both Bellevue base runners able to advance, however. Nick Grade to third, Trad Richardson to second, and shortstop C.J. Townsend steps to the plate. So another scoring opportunity for the Bruins. Both teams have had runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings of this game. Let's see if the Bruins can cash in. Breaking ball for a called strike 1. Townsend awaits the pitch. Goes opposite field and through. 1 run is in. Here comes the second runner around third base. And Richardson would score as well. So Nick Grade comes across for run number 1. Trad Richardson for number 2. And C.J. Townsend with a 2 RBI single gets the Bellevue Bruins on the board 2-0. Nice piece of hitting. Going opposite way and driving in both runners. So the Bruins back to the top of the order. Second time through for Kanta Kobayashi. Kobayashi trying to bunt his way on up the third base line. A long way for Hogan to go. He will not be able to make the play. Yesterday, both teams had their difficulties putting the bunts down, but that's a perfectly located push bunt up the third base line by Kanta Kobayashi. C.J. Townsend advancing to second on the play. That's the fourth hit of the inning for the Bruins. Derek Calvillo, the catcher, goes out to the mound to give his pitcher a little time to regroup and rest after he's been involved not only throwing the pitches, but the last couple of defensive plays as well. And we look down to the bullpen and see a southpaw getting loosened up for the Blue Hawks.
Has the Bellevue baseball team ever
Looks like number 5 in the bullpen getting loose. That is Jonathan Lerma.
One year they went 23.
At the bat for the Bruins. That one's hit well to left field off the bat of Connor Barnett. Connor heading to first base. He won't have to worry about running too hard this time, as it's a 3-run home run for designated hitter Connor Barnett. Connor Barnett drove that one over the left center field fence. It's about 350, 360 or so in that area, we'll estimate. And his home run cleared the fence by plenty. So Townsend, Kobayashi, and Barnett scoring to give the Bruins a 5 spot in this bottom of the second inning.
Batting in the third spot, the left fielder, Jake Lacey.
Left fielder Jake Lacey steps up to the plate for the Bruins. Pitch down low, ball 1.
We don't like to lose conference games. Be crazy.
On the outside corner, Brandon Hogan comes back
There's a D3 school
with the strike.
15, 16 years ago that went undefeated until the national title game.
Breaking ball misses in.
Lost the first one, won the second.
2 balls, 1 strike to count on Jake Lacey, a ground out victim his first time up today.
Yeah.
Swings and misses at that breaking ball.
My freshman year they lost a couple games, I think, but after that they won.
Swing and a miss. As Lacey, the current player of the week in the North Star Athletic Association, goes down on that one. The first strikeout of the game for pitcher Brandon Hogan. 2 outs in the inning now as catcher Logan Grant, the 8th batter to hit in the inning for the Bruins. A lot taken off that breaking ball as Grant out ahead. Blue Hawk defense playing Grant to pull. He pulls that one for sure. Too far out of play down the right field line.
There was a softball team about 10 years ago that went
Up near my favorite sled riding hill as a kid. Here's the 0-2. Hogan misses outside, 1-2 the count on the Bruins catcher.
This is their third straight national title.
Grant walked his first time up today.
Their pitchers' numbers were stupid. I'll pull them up.
Fouled back to the net, coming our way toward the camera.
You always hear that D3, that there's huge disparities.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you get D1 athletes that go.
Swung out and missed, so back-to-back strikeouts by Brandon Hogan after giving up the 3-run bomb. He battles back to retire the side, but the Bellevue Bruins pick up 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. After 2 complete, the Bellevue Bruins 5, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks nothing. Coming to you live from John Stella Field in Brown Park in Omaha, Nebraska. About a 10-minute drive from the Bellevue campus. Mick Krupski behind the microphone with Bill Mullins next to me, bringing you today's action. 9 innings in game number 1. A 10-run rule would be in effect after 7 innings if either team gets there. And then game number 2 today is a full 7-inning contest. Again, the text message number, 402-515-7654. Have a great Sunday from the McMahons in Bozeman, Montana. On our way to Chico Hot Springs for a soak and streaming the ball game. Hey, that's a nice combination.
Get started.
Go Bruins.
31.
Say the McMahons. Parker got some action in yesterday's contest, picked up the save in game number 1, coming in relief for Alex Salicio. Oh, Alex Salicio got his 20th win yesterday, becoming the 6th pitcher in Bellevue history. Bill's going to look up who all 6 of those guys are, including Alex Salicio. We'll have that for you here in this coming half inning as the Blue Hawks get ready to bat. Top of the order, second time through for Keanu Kalamayan, the second baseman.
Leading off the Blue Hawks, the second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan.
And I may have accidentally deleted somebody's text along the way here. If I haven't read your text yet, please resend it to me because I have fat fingers on a little phone. Nice breaking ball by Easton Britton, back for his 3rd inning of work. Called strike 1. Called strike 2 on a pitch in almost the exact same spot. Britton ahead of the count and finishes off Kalamayan with the fastball. Second strikeout of the game for Bruin pitcher Easton Britton.
In the second spot, the left field.
Congratulations to Easton for being named the North Star Athletic Association Pitcher of the Week. Forgot to mention that earlier. Congrats to him. So he's the second Bruin pitcher to be honored this year for the Player of the Week honor. First pitch to the next batter, Cade Ostenson, is way wide. Logan Grant had to stretch out that left arm a little bit to snare that one. On the outside corner, 1-1 to count now. In tight, 2-1. Moving the batter's feet a little bit with that pitch. Easton Britton, the pitcher of the week. Jake Lacey, the player of the week for the Bruins. Again, the 3rd consecutive week that the Bruins have swept the conference honors. Foul ball, 2-2 the count on Ostenson. Down low, blocked up on the breaking ball just in case the swing, but the count will go full. Jerry Wellwood. I played baseball with Jerry.
Her first conference game that season, threw a one-hitter, struck out.
Jerry Wellwood, the team leader in career wins for Bellevue University. Off the outside corner on the full count. It'll be a one-out walk to Cade Ostenson. Well, the Blue Hawks have had base runners on in each of the first 3 innings. Still 0 on the scoreboard as shortstop Ballas Buckmaster steps in.
Batting next to Blue Hawks, the shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster.
I got a brother who plays catcher for Sun.
Buckmaster with a double his first time up today.
How are they this year?
Off of Easton Britton.
They're like 500 right now.
Oh, okay.
They've been good the past couple of years.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they make a reach?
Britton starts him off with a breaking ball. Buckmaster won't chase as it breaks outside the zone.
This last year in the midweek.
Buckmaster was named the NSAA Player of the Week the first week, of recognitions this year. That one gets past Nick Gray at third, takes a hop past him. The hit out into left field, back-to-back base hit, a walk, and now a single for the Blue Hawks. They have runner at first and second, so the 3rd consecutive inning they've had somebody reach second base but still have failed to score. As third baseman Dawson Cortese steps in.
Batting the cleanup spot, the 3rd baseman, Dawson Cortese.
Had tons of, everyone in the Northeast offered her, Syracuse, St. John.
First pitch, fastball, chop foul to the net.
She wanted to go to Tufts.
Not a lot of room behind home plate and the foul screen.
Some NAI kids like that too.
It's pretty easy to advance from first to second or second to third, but not quite so easy from third to home on a wild pitch or a pass ball in that situation. Little chin music as Cortese spins away that pitch up and in.
Yeah, right before I got to Coast Guard, they
Breaking ball. That one's hit deep to center field. Kobayashi on the run into the gap. And that one will go over the fence. A 3-run home run for Dawson Cortese. And that brings his team 2 runs from the Bruins. Now 5-3 as Austinson, Buckmaster, and Cortese scored. So Dawson Cortese, one of the leaders in batting average, will add his average total. He's also the team leader in home runs now with 7 on the season and 38 runs batted in.
Batting the 5th spot.
Designated hitter Wyatt Wilharm next up for the Blue Hawks. Let's see if Easton Britton can battle back. First pitch fastball, called strike 1. Went over the fence at about the 360, 370 mark out in left center field. Breaking ball swung on and missed. So Dawson Cortese comes through for his team. Now a 2-run deficit for the Blue Hawks. Chopper on the third base line. That's a fair ball as Grade grabs it right on top of the base. Home plate umpire saying fair ball. Oh, good play by the Bruins third baseman to make a strong throw across the diamond. 5-3 on the play. Next up, Blue Hawk catcher Derek Calvillo. He grounded out his first time up.
The catcher, Derek Calvillo.
Breaking ball. That one's hit to left center field. Also pretty deep. Kobayashi getting to the fence. And Kanta makes the catch right at the top of the fence. A plastic border on top of the fence. Kanta, for the second time this year, got to the fence and reached up right at that yellow marker to possibly take a home run away from Derek Calvillo. Or if not, at least extra bases. Okanta Kobayashi, the Bruins returning All-American center fielder, gets a lot of high fives and slaps on the fanny from his teammate after that outstanding defensive play. In the inning, 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base as the Bellevue defense comes through to help out starting pitcher Easton Brinton. The Bellevue defense on the year, I think it's 371. I've got it here on a stat sheet somewhere. 371. That'd be horrible. 971 is a whole lot better than 371. Bellevue was the NAIA's top defensive team last year with a 980 fielding percentage, so just a few ticks below that this year at 971. 5-3 our score as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Here are those guys that are 20 or more career victories as a Bellevue Bruin pitcher. Jerry Wellwood with 24 career wins in the Bruins purple and gold. David McWatters had 22. Ben McKendall had 21. Todd Nix with 21. Matt Whitehead with 20. And now Alex Salicio with 20. The 6 guys who have had 20 or more wins as a Bellevue Bruin. Some of them, Jerry, I think, played all 4 years at Bellevue back in the day, back in the 80s, a little bit younger than me. Some for 4 years, some for 3, and some for 2.
I was 97 to 2000.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Jerry. That's younger Jerry. God, okay, Jerry Wellwood's son, Jerry Jr. That would make more sense. Bellevue baseball dates back to at least the 1970s. I don't know the exact year it was started, but longtime athletic director, basketball coach, and for a while also baseball coach, Jerry Mosser, leading the program in its early days. Here we go with the bottom of the third inning. Right fielder Anthony Lynn to start it off against Brandon Hogan. A breaking ball in the zone for a called strike 1.
The hilarious thing is he set the record on an inside the Parker here.
Herb Kufer, I think the original Bellevue baseball coach back in those days. Little chopper foul. 0-2 the count on Anthony. Anthony hit into a ground ball fielder's choice his first time up today. Anthony was named Player of the Week for the Bruins a couple weeks ago for the conference. That one's hit deep into left center field. Everybody hitting the ball to left center field today. One hops the fence, picked up out there by Nieto. And a ringing no-out double by Anthony Lynn to start this frame. Lind got up on top of a high fastball and drove it to the gap. Okay, so the program may have begun back in the late 60s, but no records are available from back then. They were still using cuneiform, and no one can translate that today. So looks like a visit to the mound by head coach Michael Dahl, and we'll have a call to the bullpen for the Blue Hawks. We'll give you some information as to who that is coming right up as the day is done for starting pitcher Brandon Hogan. He allows 5 runs on 6 hits. The base runner Lind is his responsibility as well.
Where's that? Like, I think it's in Alexandria.
We had a southpaw warming up earlier for the Blue Hawks. And we'll confirm that as soon as Coach Dow moves so I can see the number of the young man. And it is number 5 coming on in relief. And that is Jonathan Lerma, a junior from Tucson, Arizona. Jonathan Lerma now in to pitch.
Like in Iraq and Syria and stuff, you find stuff all the time that's just super old. Not a priority for most of those folks.
We were talking yesterday at the number of student athletes from Arizona on the Dickinson State roster. Lerma is one of them. He's from Tucson. Arizona and Montana, 2 very fertile recruiting grounds for the Blue Hawks, in addition to guys from the upper Midwest. No baseball records were available until 1978. So those early years, kind of a mystery. I know they played their games at the old baseball field on top of the hill. What was that called? Hey,
Baldwin?
Baldwin, thank you, Bill. Baldwin Field, one of the worst fields in the city. I have to be honest, the lighting there was very bad. I played some high school games there back in the early 1970s. The lights were so bad that if you were an outfielder, you had to play where the light was good, because if they hit it to where the light was bad, you weren't going to see it anyway. So it had some unique outfield locations there back in the day. Bellevue now playing here at Brown Park. Bellevue for a while played at Don Roddy Field, then for a while at Westgate Field, and now for the 6th year here at John Stella Field at Brown Park. Lerma done with his warm-up tosses. He's ready to go. And at the plate, Bellevue third baseman Nick Grade also ready to go. First look at southpaw Jonathan Lerma. Breaking ball cuts the outside corner. 0-1 the count. We actually have the windows and doors of the press box open today, taking advantage of some of this lovely spring weather we're experiencing. Supposed to get up to the lower 70s today. Swings and misses as the breaking ball cuts under his hands. So all of you still experiencing snow and cold weather, we've got a beautiful day here today. Na-na-na-na-na-na. 0-2 the count. Let's see where Lerma will go with the 0-2 offering. Tries to come backdoor again, but it stays wide. A few more folks heading into the ballpark as the day has gone on. We've been playing baseball for a little under an hour so far. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Bruins up 5-3. 9 runs combined thus far. Way wide once again. Count goes to 2-2.
Except you're in Canada.
Except for the weather. I mean,
Other than that, Mr. Lincoln, how was the play?
Flag blowing straight out at this point of the day. Expect the wind to move more, coming directly out of the south as that one stays wide. Now a full count as Nick Grade showing a good eye. Fell behind 0-2 in the count. Now 3 consecutive balls. All of them trying to hit the outside corner from Jonathan Lerma. Runner on second is Anthony Lind. Still nobody out. A long look to keep the runner back. And swung on and missed on the fastball. Or did the catcher drop it? He dropped the ball, so the foul tip will keep Nick Grade alive at the plate. And looked like that got a little bit of the body of catcher Derek Calvillo. Home plate umpire will take a walk out to the mound to give the catcher an opportunity to catch his breath a little bit.
Great.
I think that got him in a spot where you don't want to be got. Thank God for plastic. Looks like Derek's going to be okay as he puts the mask back on. As Nick Grade has new life, staying alive, just getting a piece of that ball. The look back to second base, a soft toss as Lynn back easily. The new hitting background was finally completed this past week. It was up yesterday, giving the batters a little extra vision on the pitches from home.
That was ridiculous.
And the pitch stays up and away, so Nick Grade wins that battle. He'll trot to first base. Bruins now at first and second as Trad Richardson steps to the plate. Head coach Dwayne Monlex running through the signs in the third base coaching box.
The first baseman, Trad Richardson.
Don't remember exactly what happened, but like one
Trad steps in. He had a base hit his first time up.
test on or something. They're like, well, we can't take her. We've got a tattoo appointment.
Corner infielders playing in a bit. Middle infielders playing at double play depth.
There was some other stuff going on too, but like that was the highlight.
First pitch to Richardson. Tries to stop his swing, but ball hits bat. Foul ball, strike one. For most of the games this season, we've seen people wearing winter apparel, or at least pretty thick jackets. We've got a few sleeveless bodies out here today, some shorts as well. People working on their tans. Here's the 0-1. Richardson squares early to bunt. Pulls back as the pitch comes in low.
But like if you're gonna do that,
A lot of moving parts on the Blue Hawk defense.
effectively one coach at that point.
Again, the signs. And again, Trad's ready to go.
Yeah, I think the head
Again, the bunt. Up the third base side. Nicely put down. The pitcher off the mound to make the play at first. A good location on the bunt by Trad Richardson. He'll get the sacrifice. 1-3 on the putout. Anthony Lynn to third. Nick Gray to second. And the Brewers again with two runners in scoring position for Drew Staley. So yesterday a bad bunting day. Today a good bunting day.
I don't really know what we're gonna try.
Infield playing about halfway. Bending breaker in the zone. Strike one called. Staley lays off of that. Drew trying to lift something to the outfield with a runner at third, nobody out, or at least deep on the ground up the middle. Bounce to the plate. Good work by Calvillo, the catcher. 1-1 to count. Got to be extra careful with that runner at third. Bellevue with a 5 spot in the bottom of the second. Dickinson State a 3 spot in the top of the third. We've had runners on base every half inning of today's game. Drew swings, but a little bit ahead of that one, fouling it off the screen of the Dickinson State dugout. It caroms out into left field. Bellevue leads the all-time series between these two schools. 14 wins to no losses. Hoping to try to stay perfect. Catcher sets up outer half. That's where the pitch goes, but Drew able to get a little bit of the bat on the ball there. Drew trying to punch one through. Up and away, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out like how for next year?
Yeah.
That would be.
Oregon State starter.
Yeah, that would
Coming here.
That would be stupid.
He's like our pitching coach. He's like playing catch guys and telling
Lerma from the set.
like Zane, like, dude, this is amazing.
Again up and away. And again the count goes full.
They figure out how to give him 2 terms. But that means he could play all year, not have to sit out till Florida. He could be at least a
Third batter that Jonathan Lerma has faced after coming in relief. The 3-2. Foul back. We'll do it again.
Yeah, and you figure we're probably going to go sign someone else too. Plus Blake will be back. Could have a shot.
Downtown Omaha to the north of the ball field. The Missouri River a couple of blocks to the east.
Out of eligibility.
Situated in what was formerly known as South Omaha, annexed by the city of Omaha back in the early 20th century. That one's driven to left field down the line. It's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes a second runner around third, and it'll be a 2 RBI double by Drew Staley. Got the head of the bat out and drove it down the line. May have been a little bit off the top of the bat, but Anthony Lynn scores first. Nick Grade comes around behind him, and the Bruins back up to a 4-run lead on a 2 RBI double by Drew Staley. Nicely executed Bruins. And the guy who had a 2 RBI base hit his first time up today, C.J. Townsend, steps in. So the 8 and 9 spots of the batting order for the Bruins have already driven in 4 of the 7 runs on the board for Bellevue. First pitch on the inside corner for a strike 1 call. The other 3, the home run by Connor Barnett.
While you're at it, I got them for 4. Yeah, if we could get one more legit arm.
Lerma comes set.
Do you figure Barnes?
Kind of a half swing there by C.J. Started, stopped, couldn't hold it. Oh, he's down to the count, 0-2. 1 on, 1 out in the inning. So the sacrifice bunt by Trad Richardson pushed 2 runners into scoring position, and then Drew Staley with a big hit to knock him home. Old school baseball there, huh? Breaking ball, foul out of play. More combos today?
Same ones as yesterday.
Same ones as yesterday. Stale combos is the snack of the day here for Bill Mullins.
The life of luxury as an SID.
There you go. Lerma again comes set at the letters.
Need that this year, shoot.
Way wide on that fastball.
Go with the non-stale combo.
1-2.
I just gotta pay some bills, man.
But they're peanut butter filled, aren't they? That's what gives you the extra protein?
Ooh, spicy honey.
Oh, spicy honey mustard, excuse me. All right. Honey's good for you.
That's what I'm told. I don't much care for it.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled back. Townsend battling tough at the plate.
He looks better at the dish lately. Probably just getting regular bats. That's all it is. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you don't get to know him by being a bad hitter.
But yeah, if you're not one of the guys at practice,
Line hard in left field. 2 for 2 afternoon for C.J. Townsend.
like for a while they only get 2 outs.
Quickly back into the infield, so Staley will have to hold at third, but a 2 for 2 day for CJ as he's got that bat through the zone quickly and drove it to left. So runners at the corners back to the top of the order as Kanta Kobayashi steps in. Catcher Derek Calvillo runs through signs to let his infielders know what he's going to do with the throw if Townsend tries to steal here.
Kobayashi.
Third baseman Dawson Cortese plays in on the infield grass. Kobayashi awaits. Goes that way, but foul caroms back. Cortese makes the play off the carom off the net. So he was in the right spot, just not for a ball in play. Again, Dwayne Mollick's running through signs. Townsend gets his lead off of first. The throw goes over there from the lefty.
He's easily the best outfielder we've ever had.
Townsend with no stolen base attempts yet this year.
Yeah.
I think I hear a few more texts come clicking in. We'll get to those at the bottom of the inning. Again, the move to first. Again, a good read by Townsend. He dives back to the bag.
I don't know why Gonzaga didn't play him more. Like, dude's come here, he's hit over 400 for 2 years.
3 hits already in the inning for the Bruins. That one up and in to Kobayashi. Lerma again comes to a set position and throws over to first base, and there was officials going to say a balk called. And so both runners will move up. So Staley will score coming from third, and Townsend will go to second. It looked like Michael Dow's going to want an explanation from the base umpire. We're assuming that he did not step in that 45-degree angle or less toward first base.
I feel like
We can't hear that conversation from this far away, but Michael Dow doesn't look happy with the initial explanation, but it's one of those situations where he's not going to win, and now the umpire demonstrates that.
I think I've heard he can
Here it is. His lead foot swung back behind his contact foot. So that's, once you do that, you've got to go home. If you put your front foot behind your back foot, that's a move going home. So that's what was called there on the balk. So the third run across for the Bruins. And a 1-1 count to Kanta Kobayashi. Line hard. Knocked down by the shortstop. He'll not have a play.
I think he was screened. I'm inclined to go hit for him, but I could be talked out of it.
All right. Bill's going to say base hit on that one as
It looked like he was screened, right?
shortstop Dallas Buckmaster a little bit screened by the base runner. Townsend not quite sure if it's going to be caught in the air or not, so it'll be ruled an infield hit. So he had to play it safely, but in doing so, he may have obstructed the vision of Buckmaster. So we'll go with a hit, the 10th hit of the game for the Bruins already. As Connor Barnett steps in, he had a 3-run home run his last time up. He's got a couple of guys on ahead of him here.
Conte got hosed out of 3 hits at the World Series last year, so I'll help him out.
Barnett awaits.
4 hits, a walk.
Lerma looks the runner back to second. Deliver Connor chopper, foul ball up the third base line. No action in the Dickinson bullpen at this point. Dickinson used quite a few pitchers yesterday in the doubleheader, trying to save some arms.
Oh, back to your home run question. Yeah, Riley's first with 44. JT Patterson second with 40.
Again, Lerma from the stretch. Second look to the runner, now delivers home. Barnett fouls that one away.
How many are you going to hit next year? You're going to catch up?
1 ball, 2 strikes to count on the Bruins' designated hitter.
Yeah.
I need 20.
Bill and Alec Ackerman discussing home runs. Since we talked about winning pitchers, it's Riley Bosch, the career leader for Bellevue home runs with 44, did you say? 44. Riley graduated a couple years ago after a sterling career at Bellevue. Low, 2-2 the count.
Like he was here for 5 years, and he had freak power. Like Matthew.
When he ran into it, it's like, oh my
Yeah.
Riley, the career leader in home runs, also the career leader in time struck out, so we'll keep him humble by mentioning that fact.
Career leader in just about everything.
Up and in. Riley played for 5 years, took advantage of that COVID extra season, extra partial season or whatever. So, yeah, he's in the top of a lot of offensive categories.
Hits, home runs, RBIs.
Hits, home runs, runs batted in,
There's more.
and more to come. Full count
Runs scored.
on Connor Barnett.
Total bases.
Battling against Jonathan Lerma.
Games played. Pretty much if there was.
Runners go on the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. The throw to third base is not in time. So the strikeout is the second out of the inning, but a good jump by Townsend at second. And the trailer, Kobayashi, at first, going to second. So CJ will pick up his first bag of the year. Conto will add one as well. And at the plate is Jake Lacey, the Bruin left fielder. Jake 0 for 2. Would love to drive something here to add more to the Bruins' current 5-run lead. That's going to hit the left field. Will it drop? It will drop. And the Bruins will add 2 more on the RBI single by Jake Lacey. So Townsend scores first, and then Kobayashi behind him. Logan Grant will be the 9th Bellevue batter of the inning.
I think it was some kid from Westmont a couple years ago.
Batting in the cleanup spot, catcher Logan Grant.
5 runs on 5 hits so far for the Bruins. Logan with a big swing. Ouch! Austin Alexander, the Bellevue volunteer assistant coach, tried to make the play on that hard hit one hopper. He'll think better of that next time as he took one off the wrist. I'm sure the guys on the bench aren't giving him a hard time or anything about that. Another chopper down that way. This one will stay fair right into the glove of Richie Cortese, who will step on the base and retire the side. But the Bruins bat around in the bottom of the third. 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base.
5 hits.
After 3 complete, the Bellevue Bruins 3, the Dickinson State the Bellevue Bruins 10, the Dickinson State Bluehawks 3. Sometimes numbers give me trouble, I'm sorry. All right, let's see if we've got any more texts in the queue here after the Bruins put up another big inning. The Colorado grandparents loved your homer, Connor, and your awesome teammates' excellent play. Another fantastic broadcast keeps us in the loop. Thanks to all of you. Well, thank you again, listening in from Colorado. Just a short 8-hour drive or so from the Omaha Bellevue area. Bruins are tied for 14th, the 7th best fielding percentage in the NAIA. All right, thanks. From the Richardsons, go Bruins. And Trad Richardson from sweltering, balmy Frenchtown, Montana. And congrats to Alex on his 20th win. I think they're saying that facetiously with the balmy Frenchtown, but who knows? Maybe they could have had a zephyr blow through there and warm things up in Frenchtown. Mid-40s from Wyoming. Would love to be there enjoying the 70s, watching our Bruins live, but almost as good listening to the play-by-play commentary. We really appreciate it. Well, thank you for the commentary. Let's go, Jake, and the rest of the Bruins squad. We're proud of you all. From John and Sarah Lacey. Well, you have to be proud of Jake's 2 RBI single in that last half inning, jumping the Bruins back out to a big 7-run lead as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Thanks to everybody who texted in, joining us today. Feel free to continue those texts. It's always good to hear where people are listening in, whether you're a Bruin fan or a Blue Hawk fan. Here's Matthias Duffner to lead off the 4th inning against Easton Britton. Breaking ball stays down low, ball 1. Duffner with a base hit. His first time up today. Chopper, Nick Grade fields it on the long hop. Throw across the diamond, 5-3 in your scorebook. We've got 1 away. My scorebook, your scorebook, everybody's scorebook. First baseman, Richie Cortese, next up for Dickinson.
And next for Blue Hawks, first baseman, Richie Cortese.
Up and away on the fastball. The Cortese brothers from Laurel, Montana. That one's hit well to right field. Anthony Lynn can only watch that one go well up on the hill beyond the right field fence. And the big swing by Richie Cortese, the solo home run in the 4th inning. So it's the Cortese brothers with all 4 runs batted in. Dawson had a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning, and now Richie a solo in the 4th. A couple of big kids, 6'4" and 6'6". Next up, center fielder Alberto Nieto. First pitch swinging, Great has to back up to get a good read on the hop. That's a nice defensive play by Nick over there. He read the hop immediately, took a step back or so to get a better hop to field, and makes the play. So 2 assists in the inning for Nick down at the hot corner. Back to the top of the order for the Blue Hawks. Second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan.
Batting.
Kalamayan 0 for 2 today, the junior out of Tucson. Called strike 1. Strike 2 called, again on the knees, outer half. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Blue Hawks. 10 runs on 11 hits for Bellevue. Up and away on the chase pitch, now 1-2. Line hard and through past the diving C.J. Townsend as Keanu Kalamayan collects his first hit of the afternoon in that leadoff spot. Now 1 on with 2 outs. The batter will be left fielder Cade Austinson.
Second spot, the left fielder, Cade Austinson.
With 2 home runs today, 32 on the season for the Blue Hawks. First pitch to Austinson, down low. For Richie Cortese, that was his 3rd home run of the season, and now 16 runs batted in for him. Down the first baseline, right on the line, Richardson there collects it and steps on the bag to retire Austinson and the Blue Hawks in the 4th inning. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. Our score after 3 1/2, the Bellevue Bruins 10, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks 4. Here's a quick look at the NAIA coaches top 25 poll. We won't have time to do all 25, but here are the top 10. Southeastern of Florida, a 30-1 record. They're on top. That 1 loss to these very same Bellevue Bruins back in early March on the Bruins road trip to Florida. Number 2 is Tennessee Wesleyan. Number 3, Lewis and Clark State of Idaho. That's where the World Series is held for the NAIA. Number 4, LSU Shreveport. Number 5, Georgia Gwinnett. Number 6, Weber International out of Florida. Number 7, Hope International out of California. Number 8, Mobile of Alabama. Number 9, these Bellevue Bruins. And number 10, Missouri Baptist. St. Thomas, also a team high in the ratings that the Bruins have defeated. They are number 18 in this week's poll. Doane of Nebraska from the GPAC is rated number 19. And those are the top 10s and some of the other schools that Bellevue has played this season. All right, here we go with the bottom of the 4th inning. Bellevue bats have come alive this afternoon. It'll be Anthony Lynn to lead it off. That one bounces past the catcher, almost to the top of the screen. Anthony had a double his last time up. Came around to score on the double by Staley. Upstairs. Now 2-0. Anthony, one of the local kids from the Omaha Bellevue area.
Saw EJ's grandparents and wanted to chat.
Oh, nice. How's he doing?
He's doing good. Good to see. I mean,
Fouled back.
Oh, yeah?
Now 2-1.
Yeah, he came out to say hi, but she was just there.
Anthony's eyes got big as he saw that fastball at the top of the zone, but just got underneath it.
I think he kind of got hurt last summer towards the end of his year. And then he's just working, and he's like, dude, like, I got to make money. Like, yeah, this is not enough money. I got 3 kids.
Right.
That's line hard down the left field line, but it's going to go foul. About a foot or 2 foul as it hooked
Those couple bucks you spent on
down there, so the count will go to 2-2 on the Bruin right fielder.
I mean, 1 time, all right, maybe.
Yeah.
But 3, come on, EJ.
Anthony earning that right field spot this year by his strong play.
That's tough.
Lind, Grant, and Lacey, the 3 Bruins who have all been named NSAA Player of the Week at various times this year. Second baseman Keanu Kalamayan on that ground ball for the first out of the inning. Nick Grade, the next Bellevue batter.
Batting next, the third baseman, Nick Grade.
Grade, a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Breaking ball, misses high. I think there's going to be a few people that are going to get sunburns this afternoon as we haven't seen a lot of the warm. We've seen sunny weather, but it's usually been in the 40s and 50s. Now, sunny and around 70, that's...
As long as I'm not one of them.
kind of hard to get a sunburn up here in the press box, but 2-0 the count. Grade readies. Lerna pitches. Grade fouls it out of play. Nick, the sophomore out of Kennewick, Washington. Upstairs, gets his chin out of the way of that one. Now, a hitter's happy count at 3-1. Bruins with a nice crew of players from the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon area. Popped up to shallow center field. Nieto tracks it and gloves it for the second out of the inning. One of those balls that was hit as high as it was hit far. Next up for the Bruins, first baseman Trad Richardson. Trad with that nice sacrifice bunt his last time up. Put 2 runners in scoring position for the hit by Drew Staley.
Trad Richardson.
One strike the count to Trad. Singled and scored his first time up today. Off the outside edge, 1-1 count.
Give it a couple more months.
I thought you knew, man. That's hilarious.
Foul tip at the plate.
They announced it like right as their spring term started. Kind of a different.
I don't know how.
Trad started his college career at Lassen College. Second year as a Bellevue Bruin. Stays alive on that foul back to the net.
Yeah. Yeah, sure you can.
Iowa Wesleyan closing down as well.
Yeah. A couple other schools are dropping.
Again, reaches to protect the zone. Fouls it above the Bellevue dugout. Scatters a couple of his teammates over that direction.
Somewhere in the Chicago area. And then San Diego Christian.
With a name like Samuel Christian, you gotta make money.
You would think so.
Again, protecting the zone.
Like, there's no shortage of people out there.
So they're going to try to add
2 outs in the inning, nobody on. Chop foul the other way, so the 5th foul ball in a row from Richardson. Bellevue has not been retired in order in this game,
So at this point, I think we should just go independent.
but the first 2 up have been out in this one. Up to Trad to try to keep it going. Line hard, down by head coach Dwayne Mundlicks, but it's in foul territory, so I'll make it 6 in a row.
February, March, and have them come up here and like late
Our
April.
soccer teams are in their conference, so we already know.
Right.
Lerma keeps throwing strikes. Richardson keeps fouling them off. Maybe he'll get one over a good part of the plate to drive somewhere.
home school.
Lerma delivers. Chopped on the ground to third. Cortese makes the play going to his glove hand side and across the diamond. And for the first time today, the Bellevue Bruins are retired in order in the bottom of the fourth inning. After 4 complete, the Bruins on top by a score of 10-4. Easton Britton back out to the mound, careful not to step on the first base line. He does a little jump over the, the chalk line there. Another one of the little superstitions of baseball. Let's see what we have in the queue here. Enjoying another great broadcast from Rockford, Minnesota. Looking forward to be at John Stella Field for next weekend's games. All right, we're looking forward to having you here as well. If you get a chance between games or before games, stop on up and say hello, everybody. The Sakamotos are here in person today. We had the Lacey's here last week and several other families as well. The 22nd of April will be Senior Day, so we'll see a whole lot of people here at that time. Bellevue has played all 3 of its conference series so far here at John Stella Field. The first one against Viterbo was supposed to have been played in La Crosse, but the bad weather conditions moved it here. Then the same situation for Valley City. So this was scheduled to be the first home series of the year, but it has become the third. Waldorf will be in town next weekend to continue the NSAA season. Now here we go at the top of the 5th inning. Shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster. Breaking ball on the outer half for a called strike 1.
Seems like, well, the native.
Swing and a miss. Fastball on the inner half. 0-2 the count on Buckmaster. Has to take a moment to adjust his his ankle protector. He adjusted by taking it off completely.
There's probably a good chance there's some blood.
Bounce to the plate. Now, what in a situation like that? He's got an ankle guard on. It's fallen off his ankle, but he's getting close to the pitch count for the hitter, so he just took it off. Would he be allowed extra time because of an equipment adjustment?
You get 1 timeout per at bat.
1 timeout per at bat, so he could have taken it there if he wanted to. Instead, he just tossed it to the side. Now 2-2 the count. 1 timeout per at bat. Otherwise, batters would be assessed a strike. He didn't want to get his 3rd strike that way. Fastball misses up. Count goes full. Ballas Buckmaster leading off the top of the 5th inning. He's 2 for 2 today. A double in the 1st, a single in the 3rd. Here's his at-bat in the 5th. Payoff pitch. Chopper to short. A charge by C.J. Townsend. Quick release, and on the money with his throw. 6-3, the first time Ballas Buckmaster has been retired by the Bruins in this game. Dawson Cortese has not yet been retired in this one. A walk in the 1st, a 3-run homer in the 3rd, and now his 3rd at-bat of the game against starting pitcher Easton Britton.
The third baseman, Dawson Cortese.
Bill, you ever been to Alaska? No. So I went a couple summers ago. Fairbanks has a team, goaltenders. They've been there forever. Went and played them for like a week.
Breaking ball, chopped to third. 1 third baseman handling another. A quick start to this top of the 5th inning as Nick Grade makes the play for the Bruins. Next up, designated hitter Wyatt Wilharm. Wilharm 0 for 2 today in the 5-hole spot.
Batting the 5th spot, designated hitter Wyatt Wilharm.
First pitch fastball swinging out of play.
I had an uncle who taught in the last.
Britton could get it out of this inning quickly. That will help his pitch count and duration for the game. Inside, Wilharm thought about starting the swing, then had to spin away from it as it kept barreling in on his body.
University that's big in hockey.
Yeah.
And then there's like a military base up there. So we went out, and there's like
68.
68 pitches by Britton so far. Breaking ball hit in the air to center field. Kanta Kobayashi has it in line, has it in his glove, and the side is retired. 1-2-3, top of the 5th inning. The first time the Blue Hawks have been retired in order in this one. As we move to the bottom half of the frame, our score remains Bellevue 10, Dickinson State 4.
I'd probably go up there.
Oh, you did? Like, it was wilderness and like it was a nice town and stuff. I mean, I wish I could kind of like, explored more.
Yeah.
We were just there for baseball. We were the same team for next week. But that's
They should have given you a day or two to like go fishing or hiking or something.
like Barry Bonds played on that team. Which would be cool.
Was it summer ball?
67 degrees, fair skies overhead, a little filtered sunshine. There's some thin clouds over part of the sky. Moving to an expected high today of 71 or 72, so a beautiful day for baseball. Just a light wind, sunshiny skies, and we need a catcher. Dickinson State relief pitcher Jonathan Lerma waiting for somebody to don the gear. Catcher Derek Calvillo was the on-deck batter.
Just playing for a week straight. Okay. And then I think we go to California for like the little San Diego tournament at the end.
Not sure if something happened to him or if we're going to see a replacement. Here comes Derek now popping out of the dugout.
They had a mascot in like the seventh inning. It was always one of their players would come out. They had like a Happy Boy song.
And Lerma will get his tosses, and we'll be back to the baseball action. Again, thanks for joining us this afternoon on the Bellevue Bruin Sports Network. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. A lot of games coming to you from John Stella Field this year as the Bruins have 7 contests against opponents. 4 of them were supposed to be home and 3 on the road. The only road series remaining will be 2 weekends from now in Aberdeen, South Dakota against Presentation, but the winter weather conditions up there don't look real promising for play up there, so Bellevue may play all 7 of their conference series at home this year. Stay tuned for that one.
We were playing in the Hazellarks in Kansas.
Avoiding those long bus rides in the North Star Athletic Association.
Small town, Kansas. Every game.
Bottom of the 5th, second baseman Drew Staley will lead things off. Drew with the big 2-run double his last time up helped the Bruins expand their lead. He'll lead it off with the ball hit into right center field. That will drop for a base hit. And on the high hop, Drew thought about advancing to second on the play, but thought better of it. Put on the drag chute and stays at first base. So a 2-for-3 day for Drew Staley. As C.J. Townsend, the shortstop, steps in.
Pretty fair reply, though.
Townsend enjoying a 2-for-2 day. 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored with his 2 singles.
Strikeout, man. I do the walk of staying back. I just like don't make eye contact.
Shows bunt, pulls it back as the pitch bounces in the dirt.
I go out playing third.
Or bounces in the field turf.
Every ball's hit to me. I make all 3.
But you know what I mean when I say that.
Whenever I come back, they're like, come on. So it's like, oh, maybe like it evened it out.
Right.
But that's hilarious.
Staley, his lead at first. Townsend at the plate. Strike called on the upper outer quadrant on the breaking ball from Jonathan Lerma. Again, we've had a very mild winter. Normally, Omaha, Bellevue area averages between 25 and 30 inches of snow per year. We got less than 10 inches of snow this year, so my back appreciates that, as do the baseball teams. Bunted back, Lerma off the mound. The throw to first base is dropped by Cortese. It'll be a sacrifice for Townsend. He reaches first base on the E3 or E on the throw? E3.
E3 and give him an assist.
So on the play, Staley advancing to second. So Townsend reaches on the sacrifice.
Actually, Dickinson.
First error of the game. The throw was a little bit into the line, but Richie Cortese could not handle it. So the Bruins back to the top of the order again with base runners on.
Step on.
Here's Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta pushes the ball. The bunt up the third base slide. Dawson Cortese across the diamond will not be in time. The speed of Kanta Kobayashi. Legs out an infield hit. Kanta a perfect 4-for-4 day. 2 of them bunt hits. The other 2 were swings. So the bases are full of Bruins. Staley at third. Townsend at second. Kobayashi at first. And the batter is Connor Barnett. But first a visit from one of the assistant coaches. That would be pitching coach Cameron Guevara. Michael Dow, the head coach for Dickinson. He's in his 3rd year. Cameron Guevara, the pitching coach. Sagan Osborne, the assistant coach. Sagan also the sports information director at Dickinson State. So a conversation with everybody on the infield. Dwayne Monlex, with lineup card in hand, approaches the home plate umpire. pretty good speed on the bases. I don't see anybody pinch running in this situation. But maybe he wants to get somebody ready in case Connor Barnett reaches. They don't want him to re-injure that hamstring. Yes, Takumi Mieno pops out of the dugout. He's just going to stretch a little bit.
Probably if Barney gets on.
All right, conversation has concluded. Nobody throwing in the Blue Hawk bullpen, so it's Jonathan Lermer's mess to get out of if he can, as Connor Barnett steps in. Connor, first pitch swinging, lined into the right center field gap. 2 runners in already. Here comes Kobayashi to third base. Dwayne Monelix will hold him there, and Connor Barnett, bad leg and all, gets his way into second base with 2 RBIs. 5 runs batted in on the day for Connor Barnett. Staley scores, Townsend scores, Kobayashi to third, and the Bruins have broken to a 8-run lead. Next up is Jake Lacey. Lacey with 2 runs batted in his last time up with a single. Opportunity to do the same here. Breaking ball up and away. Jake started his college career at Miles Community College, the Gillette, Wyoming native.
3 and an error.
Up and away again, now 2-0. And now we see some movement in the Blue Hawk bullpen. Bruins with 5 runs in the second, 5 runs in the third, 2 more runs here in the fifth. That one's hit well to right field. Right fielder still going back and dropped out there on the warning track. Kobayashi will score. Barnett will head over to third. So Jake Lacey standing on second. On a, what are you going to run? E9? E9 is the ruling.
Give a sack fly, though.
Sack fly, E9. Kobayashi scores for the Bruins. Barnett to third. Jake Lacey on second base. And the inning continues.
He was under it, though.
With Logan Grant.
And the cleanup spot, the catcher, Logan Grant.
Driven well, driven all the way to the warning track. But right fielder Matthias Duffner could not make the play. Third baseman playing in on the infield green.
You have to score 12-4. They're scoring.
13-4.
The Bruins opening up a 9-run lead with 3 more runs in this one. Logan Grant going to send that one bye-bye. That one's halfway up the hill in right field, banged off a tree branch. Logan Grant with a 3-run home run for the Bruins. The third Bellevue Jack of the afternoon. Barnett will score. Lacey will score. And Logan Grant will step on home plate with the home run and 3 more runs batted in. Logan Grant now with 3 home runs on the year and 30 runs batted in. The Bruins up by 16-4. Everybody up in this 5th inning has gotten on and come around to score.
And in the fifth spot, the right fielder, Anthony Lind.
Here's Anthony Lind. Anthony tries to check his swing. They say no, he went around. Strike 1 call. Anthony 1 for 3 today, a double in the 3rd inning. Bounced. Five of the 6 runs in the inning are earned. Nope, excuse me, 4 of the 6. The air on the first baseman as well. Breaking ball misses up and away.
Talking about how well the defense has played. Look at this inning.
Again, missing just off the outside edge on the fastball.
They got on the line, dude. When you check your swings.
Yep. Yeah, if you're asking, it's a strike. Have some feel, bud.
Lynn fouls it out of play, first base side.
It's like as a player, you
In the bullpen, Maximus Anderson
long as it's not.
warming up for the Blue Hawks, as this has been a tough inning for relief pitcher Jonathan Lerma.
If you're getting extra couple inches off the plate,
No, yeah.
I get it.
I mean, you're right. But you think
Yeah, especially on a double play.
Strike 3 call. Anthony Newitt got fooled by the pitch. The first out of the inning is the strikeout, and that ends the streak of 6 consecutive base runners reached by the Bruins. Next up, third baseman Nick Grade.
if you're a power guy, you're allowed to strike out.
Batting next, the third baseman, Nick Grade.
Maybe other schools it's different.
6 runs on 4 hits thus far in the inning for the Bruins. That one's hit well to left field. Nick Grade will do that slow trot around the bases. Don't hit my car.
Tree slowed it down.
Thank you. That's why I parked by those trees there for a little extra protection. So Nick Grade with the second Bellevue home run of the inning. A solo job to make it 17-4.
16.
For Nick Grade, now 9 home runs on the season. That's the team leader in that category. And 30 runs batted in. And the slow walk out of the dugout for Michael Dow, as that looks like it'll be the end of the day for relief pitcher Jonathan Lerma. So the next call to the bullpen for Dickinson State will bring in number 22, Maximus Anderson. Love that first name. The freshman pitcher from Jamestown, North Dakota, will come on with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Go to the Life of Brian.
I need to see that. I really do. I've only seen bits and pieces.
Maximus Anderson, this will be his 7th appearance, all of them in relief, 6 2/3 innings in total.
Playing Dickinson.
He's given up 4 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, has walked 3 but struck out 10, a 5.04 earned run average. Another sidearm slinger for Dickinson State coming on. Bellevue batters will get a little bit, not a little bit, a whole lot of a different look, as Anderson's release point as he falls to the third base side of the mound
Would you go to a regional?
is really only
Banking on us hosting.
about 1.5 feet or so from the ground. Normally you're used to seeing it coming up about 7 or 8 feet high. This one's a submariner, side armor. Use whatever term you want to describe the new pitcher, Maximus Anderson.
To the point soon where you can kind of go on those trips with me. Yeah. He's 5. I'd probably wait till he's like 8 or so.
Sounds like he should be an emperor of the Roman Empire with that first name, Maximus. Or at least a centurion, if not an emperor. Here we go with more of the bottom of the 5th inning. Again, the 10-run rule does apply after 7 innings in these 9-inning contests. Trad Richardson becomes the 9th Bellevue batter of the inning, the 2nd time in the game that the Bruins have batted around. Mathieu Sirois steps in for the Bruins as the pinch hitter for Trad Richardson. First pitch fastball, strike 1 called. 2nd year in the program for Mathieu out of Quebec, Canada. Way wide on that pitch.
Quebec City, Quebec. He's got eligibility, but he's not coming back.
Sirois awaits the next pitch. On the outside half of the plate, called strike 2. 1-2 on Mathieu.
Just be an adult.
Trying to play Indian.
As I get a chance to try my French pronunciations once again. That one's hit foul out of play right side. Dwayne Monlex back to the third base coaching box after talking with his coaching staff and players during the pitching change. Let's see if we have any more pinch hitters coming up here for the Bruins. Sirwa waits. Fouls it again out of play. Anderson steps cross body, starts from the first base side of the rubber, then that plant foot will go across his body and sweeps the arm on that tough angle. Just low there. A good take by Sirwa. 2-2 the count.
Like if he had a full year where he got like 200 at-bats or something, then maybe take a shot.
You could hit 250 with 20 homers.
The 2-2 pitch. That hits Mathieu in the rear end. The derriere, as we say in French. So he'll become the base runner on the hit by pitch. And Drew Staley, who started this with a single, back up for his second time in the inning. So I got to scratch out numbers in my scorebook here.
Now batting the second baseman, Drew Staley.
Drew 2 for 3, a couple of RBIs. In the zone to start from Maximus Anderson. Line hard, but right at the second baseman. Kalamayan over to the shortstop, and a nice athletic turn to the double play. Started by second baseman Keanu Kalamayan over to shortstop Dallas Buckmaster. The leaping throw across the diamond. 4-6-3 to retire the side. The Bruins send 10 batters to the plate in the inning. They put up 7 runs on a whole bunch of hits, and two errors, and nobody left on base. As we head to the top of the 6th, it's Bellevue 17, Dickinson State 4. Easton Britton will stay in to pitch for the Bruins, a starter, continuing his work on the mound. A new catcher for Bellevue is Gage Julin, number 32, behind the plate. We'll assume he's going in for Logan Grant.
Matthew stayed in at first.
Mathieu Sirwa will stay in at first base.
That looks like it.
And that's it for now. We may see some more guys up, as the Bruins currently enjoying a 13-run cushion. All right, for Easton Britton, he does not have any complete games this year. This is his 8th start. So Gage Julin back behind the plate. He'll be the battery mate for starting pitcher Easton Britton as we head to the top of the 6th inning. And the first batter of the inning will be catcher Derek Calvillo.
Leading off the Blue Hawks, catcher Derek Calvillo.
Calvillo 0 for 2 today. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike 1. So let's see how Britton does after that lengthy stretch on the bench as his teammates put up 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Off to a good start. Julin sets up outer half. That's where the pitch goes. Just a little too wide. 1-1 to count. Against the Bruins using electronic monitoring. I don't see the little wire hanging down from Julin. Maybe they're going straight signals this time. There's a nice breaking ball. Normally from a pitching coach, Sean Malley, has a little microphone, and the catcher has a set. But Julin keeps looking over to the dugout, so I think maybe right now they're just flashing it in physically rather than electronically. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
I don't know if I'll be
Blocked up. 2-2 the count. So yeah, the signals are being relayed in from the bench physically rather than electronically. And then Gage will flash down fingers for Easton. Flashes fastball there. Hit towards right center field. Couple guys on the move. Kanta Kobayashi right in front of the scoreboard. Kanda went a long way to grab that one. to steal extra bases from Derek Calvillo. Conta flashing the speed that makes him such a strong defender defensively, as well as a great threat offensively. Conta, the NSAA newcomer of the year last year.
Matthias Duffner.
The batter, right fielder, Matthias Duffner. First pitch a little up high. Bruins won all kinds of major awards last year. Conta won the newcomer of the year. Alec Ackerman won the player of the year. Elijah Johnson won the pitcher of the year. And Dwayne Monlick's the coach of the year. That fastball just hits the top of the zone, 1-1 to count. And then I think it was 7 first-team members of the all-conference squad last year as well for the Bruins. Mile-high pop-up on the infield, left side, shielding the sun with their gloves. Nice play by C.J. Townsend, the shortstop, to stay with that one and collect it for the second out of the inning. 6 Blue Hawk batters in a row retired.
Why did she get fired for that? I missed the contact.
First baseman Richie Cortese, a long home run his last time up on a 1-for-2 day.
They're talking about Snoop Dogg.
On the outside corner, called strike one. That home run knocked down a tree branch in right center field. This ball field sits in a natural bowl, a little mini valley, if you wish, ringed by hills. On the east, south, and west side, open to the north.
It was weird.
So winds out of the south, as they are blowing today, aren't affected too much near the backstop area. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1-2 the count. But once the ball gets over the top of the bowl or gets closer to the left field side, the winds can help pick up and carry the baseball a few extra feet, yards, whatever.
There was no reason to say it.
Here's the pitch from Easton. Breaking ball. Cortese thought about starting the swing, but holds up. Count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Bruins with a big lead over the Blue Hawks.
Again, I don't think it was necessarily meant racially. It was just a really stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
Chop foul.
It's like you're in Omaha, Nebraska, like.
And you're a white dude, and like your whole team is for the most part black.
Again, I'll toss out that number one final time in this game, number 1. If you'd like to join us, 402-515-7654. Pitch stays away. Count goes full to Richie Cortese. Richie and Dawson Cortese, the accounting for all 4 the runs batted in for Dickinson State in this one. Payoff pitch. Hit in the air to left field. Jake Lacey has to go back. He's still going back, and he's going to run out of room as Richie Cortese with solo home run in the 4th, and now a solo home run in the 6th. The first one to right field, this one opposite field over the left field fence. He'll step on home plate to complete his trips around, and we will tell you that is now the 4th home run, 2 of them today. And now 17 runs batted in for Richie Cortese. And we will have a pinch hitter for the Blue Hawks. Number 32 is Brendan Schneider. Pinch hitting here
Number 32, Brendan Schneider.
in the 9-hole. Brendan Schneider. First pitch, strike 1 from Easton Britton. Three home runs allowed by Britton today, but he bounced back after the first 2 by getting the next batter out. He's ahead in the count here against Schneider, 0-2 on the nice breaking ball. Swung on and missed, blocked up by Gage Julin. He'll have to record the out at first base. So the strikeout retires the side, 2-3 on the putout. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 17 for the home team Bruins, 5 for the visiting Blue Hawks. Well, right now a 12-run lead for the Bruins. They may try to add some more here to get a little bit of a cushion. And then if they hold down the Blue Hawks in the top of the 7th, this will be a 10-run victory, but got a ways to go yet. As back to the mound goes Maximus Anderson for his 2nd inning of relief work. Let's see if we might get some pinch hitters for the Bruins in this bottom of the 6th inning. Bellevue scheduled at the 9-1-2 part of the order.
He's probably reached his limit at Creighton. Like, they're not going to do better. Like, realistic.
They had a run. Well,
Notre Dame, you could win a national championship.
Been playing baseball for a little under 2 hours this afternoon. The Bellevue Bats have come alive, pounding out 16 hits.
Like 6 or 8 schools that you legitimately.
17 runs on 16 hits for Bellevue, 5 runs on 7 hits for Dickinson State. And it'll be C.J. Townsend to bat to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. C.J. 2 for 2 and a sacrifice. 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. Very good production out of the 9-hole. First look at Anderson. Pitch misses away. CJ wearing my favorite number, number 7, an homage to Mickey Mantle. I don't know if that's why CJ wears it. That's why I did. Cortese knocks it down at first, loses his sunglasses. Now in the foot race, it'll be safe. CJ Townsend with the speed. E3 on the play. Richie Cortese had it in his glove but couldn't collect it. That's the 3rd error of the game against Dickinson State as Townsend reaches. Back to the top of the order. Here's Kanta Kobayashi. Well, Kanta, what have you done today? Well, he singled, and he singled. 4 for 4 at the top of the order. And 3 runs scored and a stolen base. Down low, ball 1.
If it's borderline, I usually head towards like whatever's better for the player. But cut and dry balls in your glove and it's out of your glove. That's an error about just about every time.
Anderson comes set just above the belt. That one's hit to center field. Shallow center field. Shortstop going out. Left fielder, center fielder coming in. A nice play by the shortstop, Dallas Buckmaster, to go out into shallow left center field to retire Kobayashi for the first time today. And we will have a pinch hitter here in the DH spot. This will be Eric Anderson hitting for Connor Barnett.
He's a little bit older, right? I mean, the pro option is probably pretty minimal.
Eric, the sophomore, a Bellevue native, steps in. We've seen him have some pinch hit at DH opportunities on this season. So it's Anderson versus Anderson. Anderson hits the line drive foul up the first base side. Maximus against Eric in this battle of Andersons. Eric hitting .257 on the year. Has 35 at-bats coming in. On the outside edge, 0-2.
Does he want to go back to Japan or does he want to stay here?
Eric, a Bellevue West graduate.
I feel like he kind of seems like he doesn't care.
Line hard in the left center field. That's going to get through for extra bases. Here comes the base runner, Townsend, rounding third. He's going to try to score. There'll be no throw. He will score standing up on the RBI double by Eric Anderson. So the Bruins continue add to their lead, now 18-5. And Michael Dow coming out of the Dickinson dugout with his lineup card. Nobody throwing in the bullpen, but we have a new left fielder coming into the game. That is Jacob Clinton going into left, replacing Cade Ostenson.
Jake Clinton.
I wonder if the guy's a pitcher too. They're trying to get him loose.
Now back to the Bruins. Number 21, Jake Lacey.
Jake Lacey steps to the plate for the Bruins. Curious move for the replacement there. We're trying to figure out why, but maybe just to give him some time. Lacey with a big quick hand swing on the entrance road coming into the park. Somebody coming in made a nice play. He's older than I am, and he made a nice play.
Well, the Omaha over 60 team will be great.
Yeah. Join him for, our over 50, over 60 league team. Inside to Jake. Yeah, I tried to make one final comeback last year, and that didn't go so well. Pulled my hamstring on the first game. Oops.
Sending consolation, Connor's like 21, and he pulled his too.
Anderson on the set, now the delivery. Outside. 2-1 the count on the Bruin batter out of Gillette, Wyoming. Also the hometown of Bellevue head coach Dwayne Monlux.
Played for the same Legion program.
Played for the same Legion program, says Bill. Just a few years apart. A little number down the line. Across the diamond from one Cortese above the other, but the short hop, Richie Cortese can't handle that throw from Dawson Cortese. Nuts. And so the error, E5, so no hit on the play. Bruins now with runners at the corners as Eric Anderson advances to third. Still just one out in the inning. And again, Michael Dahl coming out of the dugout. Richie Cortese heads to the dugout. And number 25 is going to enter the game, taking the long way around the pitcher's mound. Coming into first base will be Cale Richards. So Cale Richards will go in for Richie Cortese.
25, Cale Richards.
1 hit and 2 errors this inning.
So the fourth error of the game. That one's lined hard into the corner. That's going to drop. Nice play to cut it off in the corner on the hard hit ball by Gage Julin. And Julin will collect the RBI on his first at-bat of the day. So nice job. Gage sees the first pitch, likes it, hits it hard. A nice play by the new left fielder to keep it from going into the corner.
He had one last weekend.
And another pinch hitter for the Bruins. Stepping in will be Takumi Maeno. Takumi coming into the spot of Anthony Lind. So Takumi, who had been the courtesy runner earlier, now get a chance to pinch hit. He'll probably stay in and play right field as well.
25, Takumi Maeno.
Takumi batting .211 on the year. First year in the Bellevue program.
Gap a double here.
So Gage Julin was hitting 200 coming into that one, gets that at-bat, and picks up his first run batted in of the season. Takumi swinging, fouling it out of play.
He's a pretty good defensive catcher, right?
Yeah, he's got a hose too.
Big dude, he's probably got some pop in that bat.
There's another guy I got to see in the racks. That'll be good.
Yeah. Tough to take Logan out of the lineup, though.
Strike two on back-to-back foul balls, bouncing back near home plate.
Well, like, that's a guy that you probably want to get some reps. Yeah, I thought he did a good job last year when he was kind of forced to start there for a couple of weeks.
When he's on, he barrels the ball.
Shoot,
Maximus Anderson on the delivery. A little chopper towards second base. Kalamayan gloves it. His only play will be to first. 4-3. On the play, retires Mayeno. And on the play, Lacey advancing to third. And Gage Julin advancing to second.
And another pinch hitter.
And one more pinch hitter on the parade to home plate. This will be number 5 for the Bruins, and that is Nathan Springer. Nathan, another one of the Bellevue catchers. He'll be hitting in the spot for Nick Grade. Looks at a fastball for a strike one called. Springer hitting 125 on the year. He's had 10 at-bats.
Sounds right.
Lays off that pitch, going wide, 1-1 to count. 2 more runners in scoring position. The Bruins have scored 2 more in this inning to take a 19-5 lead. 2 hits, 2 errors in the inning. Wide again, 2-1. Action in the bullpen. Jackson Schabel, right-handed junior, throwing. Way wide once again. Now 3-1 for Springer. And 4 pitches, all wide. Springer will head down to first base with the walk. So the bases are loaded. 2 outs in the inning, and the batter will be Mathieu Sirois. Sirois came on as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning, was hit by the pitch. First pitch swinging, chop back to the net. Sirois hitting right at 300 on the year, has 18 runs batted in and 5 home runs. Good power numbers for Mathieu, a 600 slugging percentage. That one's going to be driven into right field for a base hit. 2 more runs will be on the board for the Bruins, as Mathieu Sirois picks up 2 runs batted in. Lacey scoring and Julin scoring for the Bruins. And on the play, Nate Springer advancing all the way to third base. Michael Dow back out of the dugout. And we may have one more pitching change for the Blue Hawks. He requests the baseball. Maximus Anderson is done for the day. He faces 8 batters in this inning, as we'll have another call to the bullpen. And the new pitcher will be Jackson Schabel. 4th pitcher of the game for the Blue Hawks, Jackson Schabel.
Hey, Rose getting in that bat. Love it. Oh, that's great. Gonna be hard to do with nobody on second.
For Jackson Schabel, a junior right-hander, this is his 6th appearance on the season, all of them in relief. He's thrown 6 1/3. Has allowed 10 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 strikeouts and 5 walks, a 4.26 earned run average. Jackson Schabel now on the hill for the Blue Hawks, trying to get the final out in this bottom of the 6th inning. The Bruins with a 21-5 lead, and then hoping to end this one by the 10-run rule after the next half inning of play. But still action here. Aaron Gardner comes off the Bruin bench. He will be the first pinch hitter that Schabel will face.
Now on the mound for Blue Hawks, number 6.
Aaron, the freshman from Pierce City, Montana. Oh, excuse me, Missouri. I said that last time I introduced him too. So
They just have so many Montana kids.
yeah, it's kind of a natural mistake. A couple of kids from Missouri. Teron Williams is it Belton, I think? Here, let's see here. Ding, 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 ding. Belton, Missouri, and Pierce City, Missouri, the two natives of the Show Me State on the Bruins squad.
Let's see what he can show us here.
Pitch hitting for the Bruins. Number 2, Aaron Garner.
I'd use that, but you already did, so.
They didn't hear me.
Aaron looking for his first hit of the season, used quite a bit as a pinch runner or courtesy runner. Takes a called strike on the first offering from Jackson Schauble. Just 3 at-bats so far for Aaron. Breaking ball misses away, 1-1.
The old third-year freshman. Looking for his first career hit.
Foul back to the net. Karams back out onto the field of play now, 1-2 the count. Looking for his first career hit as a Bellevue Bruin. Lays off that pitch, bounces in the dirt. Good read by Sirois. He'll advance to second on the wild pitch.
No, we need to be advancing on wild pitches that don't get to the backstop.
The Bruins will have batted around for the 3rd time in this game in the first 6 innings. Bruins have liked crooked numbers on the scoreboard today. Gardner fouls that one out of play. 5 runs in the second, 5 runs in the third, 7 runs in the fifth, 4 so far in the 6th. Add that up and you get 21. Bruins also scored 21 the other day against Valley City, right? Wasn't the 21 to nothing game? Yes. So second time in 2 weekends they've hit into the 20s. Ground ball to short. Nice play by Buckmaster across the diamond just in time to retire Aaron Gardner. So the Bruins put 4 more runs on the board. A couple of errors, but some hits as well. 1, 2, 3 hits. 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Bruins hoping to hold on and knock it down for a run rule win. Easton Britton back to the mound, looking for his first complete game of the season. Bellevue 21, Dickinson State 5.
Garner staying in at second.
Garner will stay in at second.
Julin went to third.
Julin to third.
I guess Springer's going to catch, but we'll wait on that. Mayano in right.
Takumi Mieno in right.
Sure, it looks like him. And we need a left fielder.
Lacey goes back in, or stays in left field.
He would be going back.
So Lacey, Kobayashi, and Mayeno will be the Bellevue outfield left to right. Gage Julin at third, C.J. Townsend at short, Aaron Gardner at second, and Mathieu Sirois at first. Nathan Springer behind the plate as Easton Britton tries to finish this off with a complete game. It'll be the top of the order for the Blue Hawks as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Second baseman Keanu Kalamayan. 1 for 3 for Keanu.
Leading off for the Blue Hawks, second baseman, number 3, Keanu Kalamayan.
First pitch down low, ball 1. Ball 2. Again, Britton had another inning where he had a long rest on the bench. I didn't notice if he went down to the bullpen to throw a little bit to stay loose. Some pitchers like to do that. Some don't. Right back up the middle. Second base hit of the game for Keanu Kalamayan. Next up, the left fielder, Jacob Clinton. He came on as a defensive replacement in the last half inning. His first at-bat of the day.
Batting number 11, Jacob Clinton.
Upstairs on the fastball, out of the zone. Jacob Clinton hitting .209 on the season. Hit in the air to center field. Kobayashi racing back to find the fence, and he will run out of room as Jacob Clinton, his first at-bat of the day, a two-run RBI, I'll say it right yet, 2 RBI home run, driving in Kalamayan ahead of him. All the runs scored today, all the runs batted in have come on home runs. Richie Cortese has 2 home runs. Dawson Cortese has 1, and now Jacob Clinton has 1. So 7 runs on the board. The Bruins still up by 14 as Ballas Buckmaster steps to the plate. Breaking ball stays tight.
I can see Massey going over it.
Can't see down into the Bellevue bullpen, but don't see any action down there because we're blocked by several things. Nathan Sprenger will go on to talk
It's probably a lot thicker than
with Easton Britton. So I would assume from that conversation that there may be somebody scurrying down in the Bellevue dugout to get ready. How many pitches has Easton thrown? 93. So he's trying for his first complete game of the season. This is his 8th start, a 3-1 record, a 3.67 earned run average. Looking to get the win. His ERA is going to take a little bit of a beating with this one. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on the Blue Hawks shortstop. Buckmaster 2 for 3 today. Hit in the air left side, down the left field line. Several guys giving chase. It'll be C.J. Townsend, the shortstop, with a nice play, staying with that one. Got to the line and then had to backtrack a little bit as the wind blew that a little bit more towards the center field area. Gets a handshake out there from Jake Lacey. So another nice defensive play by C.J. Townsend at short. There's now 1 away in the inning. And the batter up. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So Easton will not get the complete game, but he sure will have a good chance to pick up his 4th win of the season as the Bruins go to the bullpen.
37, I think.
We saw Parker McMahon come on in relief to get the save in game number 1 yesterday. The Bruins now will turn to Elijah Borson. Obviously not a save situation, but wanting Elijah to shut the door in this 7th inning.
Now on the hill for the Bruins,
7 runs on 9 hits
Elijah Borson.
given up by Easton Britton. All those runs scoring on home run balls, 4 of them. Elijah, just the freshman, the right-hander. This is his 5th appearance of the season. All of them in relief. 3 2/3 innings of work for Elijah. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Has walked 2 and struck out 6, a 4.91 earned run average. Borson, the freshman from Cairo, Nebraska. Spelled like Cairo, Egypt, but pronounced Cairo. I even looked that up. I thought that's how they pronounced it there, and that is correct. Out in the Grand Island area. A little west of there, I believe. The first man that Elijah will face, third baseman Dawson Cortese. Cortese, that 3-run home run. 1 for 2 on the day, including a walk. First pitch fouled out of play.
he ends up being a dude, we're going to have to nickname him the Mummy or something.
That'd be a good name.
Ahead in the count now, 0-2.
He's got like real quiet personality.
A lot of those like Western Nebraska kids are like that though.
Goofy, doesn't say a lot.
Bounce to the plate. Springer takes that one off the left arm. Now 1-2 the count on Dawson Cortese, the cleanup hitter for Dickinson State.
He's not bad. I mean, he hasn't thrown much, but he's been pretty good every time he's
Slow
been
face
out
a lot
there.
of that.
Comebacker gets past Borson, circling behind second base. Aaron Gardner with a nice play defensively, going to his right, and then throwing across his body to retire Cortese. 4-3 on the play. Tip of the cap to Aaron Gardner defensively as the Bruins playing errorless baseball once again today. The final man for Dickinson State, DH Wyatt Wilharm.
Now batting designated hitter, Wyatt Wilhelm.
Wilharm 0 for 3. Fouls the first pitch off to the right side. Slider stays up. Bellevue looking to go 15-1 on the season at John Stella Field. Breaking ball in the zone. Bellevue hoping to win its 17th out of its last 18 games, stretching back to the final 5 games of their Florida trip back in early March. Hit in the air to the right side, it's shallow. 3 players giving chase, and it'll drop in for a base hit. First hit of the afternoon for Wyatt Wilharm. And the inning stays alive for Dickinson State for their catcher, Derek Calvillo. 21-7 our score. Dickinson still has to find a way to manufacture 5 runs to keep this one going with 2 outs. Elijah Borson upstairs with that delivery. Breaking ball, runner goes, thinking that nobody will be paying attention to him. And it'll be a stolen base for Wyatt Wilharm. Loses both of his batting gloves out of his back pocket on the steal. How's that for speed? Run so fast you run right out of your clothes. Not the important parts anyway. Here's the next pitch. Upstairs once again. Now 3-0.
You have 2 touchdowns, so strikes.
There's one down the heart of the plate. Now 3-1 the count on Calvillo. He was taken all the way. He'll most likely have the green light here if he gets that same pitch. Elijah Borson on the mound for the Bruins, trying to finish this one off. A little comebacker. Elijah handles it. The throw to first is on the money. 1-3 on the putouts. And that one retires the side. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. That one will do it. The Bellevue Bruins with a 21-7 victory over the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. For the Bruins, 21 runs on 19 hits. There were no errors. For the Blue Hawks, 7 runs on 10 hits. They committed 4 errors. With the victory, the Bellevue Bruins are now 24-5 overall. Still perfect at 11-0 in the North Star Athletic Association. With the loss, Dickinson State drops to 12-18 overall, 4-7 in conference play. Thanks once again to Bill Mullins for his commentary and assistance in the broadcast today. We've got another one coming up for you in about 30 minutes or so before we get out of here with game number 1. 2 more texts in the queue. Hey, go Bruins from the Townsends in rainy Oregon. Way to break out, CJ. And one more. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Let's do this instead. Clapping emojis, hashtag Lacey21, biggest fan from Red Lodge, Montana. Congratulations, Bruin. Now let's go do it again, and a bunch of baseball emojis as well. So what a good way to end our broadcast for game number 1 with baseball emojis. Again, the Bruins win 21-7. Final game of the set coming up in about 30 minutes. That will be just before 3 o'clock Central Time. Come on back for more baseball. Mick Krupski signing off for right now on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.